My name is John Howie. I'm one of the coaches with SCORE, and I'm really excited and honored to talk to you today about how to use an emergency fund. No small business wants to be in a situation where they have to use an emergency fund, i.e., an emergency fund being reserves that are set aside that are easily and quickly accessible for a rainy day. But if we do find ourselves in a situation where we have to use an emergency fund, we want to make sure that we're very prepared to do so. And so, what I want to talk to you about are three tips or concepts, ideas to help you to ensure that you're deploying an emergency fund effectively. First, you want to make sure that you create a list of levers that need to be exhausted before you actually deploy your emergency funds as needed, right? So, those list of things could be examples like eliminating all your discretionary spending and focusing on mission critical expenses, things like insurance and rent, utilities, vendor commitments, or payroll, right? You want to make sure that you are focusing on those critical expenses. You also want to try and make sure that you're negotiating existing liabilities or debt commitments. Actually, talk to the relationships that you're engaged with and see if there's any accommodations that can be made before you have to use your emergency fund. And lastly, make sure that you explore relief programs, if available, or um, options that you may qualify for. All right, the second tip is create emergency use categories in advance of the emergency, right? So these are triggers that'll let you know I'm in a scenario where I proactively decided I would use emergency funds for things like prolonged illnesses, natural disasters, or a pandemic, right? Or the unfortunate circumstance of, we're in a period of social unrest, or establish operational KPIs. And so when you hit a KPI, a key performance indicator, you reach a certain threshold, that'll let you know I'm in a scenario where I need to deploy an emergency fund. An example of that could be if your accounts receivable forecast falls below accounts payable for a certain number of consecutive time periods, you might be at a situation where you need to deploy your emergency fund. And lastly, consult with a trusted advisor. It could be a business banker, financial advisor, or an accountant, an industry peer, a partner, someone on your board of directors, somebody that you trust to help validate your thinking and keep you accountable to your game plan. Lastly, I just want to encourage you to go on SCORE's website, search for the financial projections template. It's a really great resource to help you proactively understand how scenarios may pan out. And if you are in a situation where you are deploying your emergency funds, it'll help you to maintain a very disciplined approach to managing the fund deployment in that situation and keep you very objective around where your dollars are being deployed. So hopefully this is very helpful. I hope you do not find yourself in a situation where you need to deploy your emergency fund. But if you do, I feel very confident that you'll now be more prepared. Take care.